Ladies and gentlemen, good evening and welcome in to MASL Soccer live on Twitch from the Family Arena in St. Charles. It's the St. Louis Ambush and the Milwaukee Wave here tonight, a night that we have been looking forward to for a very long time. Most of the Ambush's struggles against the Wave seem to be buried after a couple of wins last season. It's given a new dimension to this rivalry. Matt Rocchio, feels good to be back out here. Do we see another tight one tonight?
I think we will. I think that's just the atmosphere that we're going to have at Family Arena this entire season is close games and maybe some more free soccer for the fans in attendance. I'm okay with that.
If you haven't heard, advanced research has confirmed this. It's a record to start 3 straight home games with OT games for a team in the MASL. Brian Beament, Billy Stymack, they stepped up to send an OT last time against Kansas City.
That was an absolutely huge game for them. The newcomers making an impact. We got 2 more newcomers tonight. Can they make an impact for the Ambush? We'll see.
And going to have to do it against this Milwaukee Wave team that travels to the St. Louis area for the first time. Of course, that means we have IBS, Ian Bennett syndrome, once again at the Family Arena in St. Charles. What can we do to slow down this reigning MVP?
The thing with Ian Bennett is you're not going to be able to stop him. So this comes down to the Ambush being able to outscore the Wave and Ian Bennett tonight. Can they get more offense? They're one of the lowest in the league so far in shots and shots on target this season. Can they change that around and find the back of the net a little bit more efficiently?
And there will be help out there tonight. A great return for the St. Louis Ambush. Will Niamsi going to return to this field this evening?
Absolutely huge. We've talked about that almost every single game, how big of that loss has been for them defensively, the energy in the midfield, that extra little attacking spark, getting that back again, especially against Ian Bennett, that's going to be huge for the Ambush.
And I'm getting breaking news right now. Diduca, Carvalho, and Paulo, key players, both listed as doubtful on the game notes. They will be playing in a surprise twist tonight. That has to give you a lot of faith.
It's got to be great news for Ambush fans. This team's dealt with a lot of injuries, a lot of changes in the lineup over the last really year plus almost 2 full years. It's great to finally see maybe one of the most healthy lineups we've seen from the Ambush in a long time.
We've got Diduca, we've got Paulo, we've got IBS. It's St. Louis Ambush Soccer coming up right after this on MASL TV.
Raising Cane's, we focus on getting it right every time. Quality isn't complicated, and our menu is proof.
Raising Cane's chicken fingers, one love.
Now hiring awesome crew. Apply at work@canes.com.
Take control. Make a healthy change. Maintain a healthy weight. Exercise regularly. Don't smoke or use smokeless tobacco. Eat a healthy diet. Limit alcohol. Protect yourself from the sun and avoid tanning beds. Protect against sexually transmitted infections. Get screening tests. For more 8 Ways tips, visit siteman.woostel.edu/take control.
Help members access their money anytime, anywhere.
You're telling me that my Together Credit Union checking account has no minimums or monthly fees? And I can get cash for the game with Gary at pretty much any ATM?
Uh-huh.
Nice.
Go team!
MASL Soccer on Twitch is brought to you by Sports Illustrated Tickets. Want to see a game live? Visit Sports Illustrated Tickets for the best tickets to see the MASL action in your favorite arenas. And by Alt Sports Data. Alt Sports Data is now the official sports data partner of the Major Arena Soccer League. The San Diego-based leader in trading and consumer data for action, alternative, and emerging sports, Alt Sports Data will help deliver an enhanced fan experience to their expanding audience. Let's get down to business tonight here at the Family Arena. It's the St. Louis Ambush and the Milwaukee Wave about to tee it up for the 2nd time overall this season. First time on our turf. Joey Zanaboni, Matt Rocchio with you. We've been with you 3 other times this season. All 3 games have gone to overtime. You know that you've got to watch those heart palpitations out here this season.
Obviously, it hasn't been ideal for the Ambush, needing the extra time, losing the extra point. But a win is a win, and it's been better than it was at the start of last year. So hopefully they can put another one here in the bank, and maybe this one, just hopefully, in regulation.
Ambush 2-1 so far at this arena this season.
This Milwaukee Wave team, they are 3-0-1, and they are streaking through the middle, trying to get an early test on Paulo. Ben Raymond taking a tumble over the ball, and it's rolled out to Stefan Mijatovic. And Paulo is sending out toward Will Eske. Touches it with the boot, trying to get it around Javier Steinwasser. Gathered in the back by this gold-clad Milwaukee Wave side that is really feeling confident to open the season. And Kevin Ellis in pursuit. Chili Willie stepping up, trying to rip one away from the back. Steinwasser somehow keeps the balance, and he'll get the benefit of the Tweety Bird. Our 4 referees tonight: Shane Butler, the senior man, Joe Mock, Matt Geringer, and Jeff Petrillo in assisting him. Long ball here. Andre Hain, who scored a couple times against the ambush, wanted a whistle, doesn't come. 2 goals for him, 3 for Ian Bennett when the Wave took one against the ambush in Milwaukee in December. Duduka, drop back, Pepe in a hot air balloon looking for Brian Bement, but easily snuffed in the back. Good to see a couple of new faces and a couple of faces who have returned. We thought Duduka was going to be out of this game.
Yeah, him being back is going to be huge, obviously. His hold-up play, huge pass right there from Duduka. Anytime you can get the Hulk back in the lineup, or keep him in the lineup, I should say, for the ambush, it's going to be big. He's had a great start to the season so far, been a really big key cog in the ambush so far.
Wanted a chance with Billy Stymack, one of the heroes, sending it to overtime.
How about that last game, Joey?
Scored twice in about 40 seconds in the 4th. Brian Bement trying to get a little turnage here against William Bonaheny in net for Milwaukee.
Talk about a big return. Number 97 back in the black and with the pink trim, and that's going to be Otto Jahic. Just getting him back, his speed, his offensive skill, that could be huge for a game where, again, we said in the pregame, it's going to be hard to stop Ian Bennett and a Milwaukee offense that has averaged 9 goals the last 2 games.
Great to have
outscoring.
Will Niamsi, a.k.a. Frenchie, back as well. He serves Greg Kranz, who just snakes this wide. Niamsi, who has Frenchie on the back of that 18 jersey.
I like how that's a change from last year, isn't it?
Styling stuff. Briggs styling into the near side corner. And Christian Briggs, who scored here on his birthday on New Year's Eve, wraps one around, but it goes nowhere. Bonaheny trying to just do a little rollout. Briggs keeps the pressure up top. This Milwaukee team going to Ian Bennett for the first time tonight. Off the wall, he's trying to get open down the middle. And chance on once again for the Wave. Flush to the outside, well done by Kevin Ellis. That's why you love to have a veteran in the back like him. Opportunity knocking for the Wave. And stuffed well short after Salvador Nunez took it down that far side. Wave, a little pinball through the middle. Caught up to by Raymond, looking to get it down the wall against Kranz. Niamsi, good minutes early. Had some visa issues. The MASL has announced that several of those issues have been resolved, including Niamsi's Nunez initial, and it's tipped on home. Who else? We got IBS.
Of course, it's going to be Ian Bennett who gets the first goal in this game, period. And what a goal it was. You saw the long shot there from Oliveira, and then somehow the ball just finds it perfectly for Ian Bennett. That's the thing about luck in sports and great players. The luck of the greatest players always seems to be the best. It looks like Bennett actually didn't get his foot on that one. I think that one came off so hard that Brian Bement just couldn't handle that one. I think technically you'd classify that one as an own goal, I think.
It was set up by Mario Alvarez on a run out of the back. So perhaps Bennett will be credited, perhaps not. It's bad news, though, for the ambush. Ian Bennett syndrome strikes again, and the ambush are 0-4 this year, including 1 loss in overtime when being the second team to score. Marcel Berry trying to even things up, just under 11.5 left here first quarter. Pepe is sending that one well wide, gathered by Robbie Cristo. 3 goals a couple of games ago for him against the Kansas City Comets. Trying to serve one through the middle. Whistle dead.
Yeah, Robbie's got a little limp after that contact.
Set up by Duduka for Pepe. Returned all the way to midfield. Barry.
Ambush only had 3 guys on when they started that.
Stefan Mijatovic. Pepe trying to curl down toward Duduka. Chested out of the air by Steinwasser. Bonaheny, who's part of this goaltending unit with Augie Ray, Monaheny from Rochester, New York, a great indoor tradition up there.
Want to give a lot
Long
of credit.
shot. Wiedebach.
A lot of credit to Hain on that last possession. He absolutely just stuck his foot out and made himself a wall in front of a charging Duduka. Might have saved a rebound goal there for the Wave.
Duduka, one of the hardest players to handle up top in the MASL. Poked in by Derek Huffman, one of the most controversial players in the MASL. Feeding back towards Steinwasser. His Twitter handle is @HuffTheStuff.
Joey, when me and Joey were doing a little research pregame, I mentioned the suspension that Huffman was coming off of, and Joey said, I didn't know they could suspend you for that.
He admitted trying to get a shot off. It was tipped. Billy Steinmack sending loose. Hey, I wouldn't have said half the stuff I'd been saying if I knew you
you've
get
been
suspended.
saying, Joey Lord.
Mijatovic diving through to
family
block
program.
that. That's right. Speaking of family program, of course, thank you again to Mr. Mijatovic for that delicious bottle of Dunya brandy. Our New Year's Eve present up here for that last game.
Joey couldn't really figure out what it was, and so Stefan really just gave us the lowdown. He just simplified. He just goes, it's Serbian moonshine.
And it is quite good. We saw to that last time we were out here.
So, Joey, what does Serbian moonshine taste like?
You know, it actually tastes like it's a combination of wine and vodka.
Interesting, okay.
It is derived from wine. I've become the brandy expert. That was the first time I've ever drunk it. But of course, I had to get on the wiki how to pour your own brandy. And
did you get a snifter? Did you go buy a snifter?
No. I drank it all out of an old Disney Channel themed cup with, just like a plastic sort of coating around it. Andre Hain, plastic coating this one off the outside wall through the middle. But it's quickly evacuated again by the way. That's the nicest New Year's gift I've ever gotten in my life. Thank you again to the Mijatovic family. It's also probably the only New Year's gift I've ever gotten.
Be a good time to give people gifts.
Alex Bradley feeding the corner. LS trying to take a fire extinguisher to it. Pepe lofts it for Guernsey to go chase.
An impressive job so far by the Wave in this possession, playing almost the entire game in the ambushes half of the field.
Yeah, they've looked really, really crisp so far. Chance on. There he is, Derek Huffman. Didn't get it cleanly. Grabbed by Paulo. What do you think about that Twitter handle @HuffTheStuff?
You know what? Why not? Have a little fun. It's Twitter.
Hey, you got to huff something, right?
Yeah, right. Well, I'm high on life, Joey.
You and me both, my friend. Hooked on a feeling. Brian Bement might be hooked on a foul. Took down Andrew Wiedebach from Mequon, Wisconsin. Wiedebach, his family listening up there from the mitten tonight. Long serve. Mijatovic. Close mark of Huffman. Chance through. Paulo diving stop. Huge glove work. Alvarez, the one to rip it. He's from Wayne's World, USA, Aurora, Illinois. And Paulo does a great job to deprive him. Oh, fortuitous deflection. Robbie Christo. Just wide. Second chance. SK tried to bulldoze through for it. Punched back by Robbie through Christian. Mijatovic opening up on the near side. 7:16 left, first quarter. Milwaukee struck early. St. Louis starting to find its boots on the offensive side. Bement pushing toward the middle. Mijatovic.
Love Mijatovic directing traffic.
Over the top, wanted Bement. Steinmack fed, and this ends up chipped into the stands. Milwaukee will get a chance to clear it out after our first media timeout. 6:55 still to go in this first quarter. Write in. Tell us what your favorite ever New Year's gift was or is at St. Louis Ambush on Twitter.
Joey.
Or you could put it in the Twitch chat feature.
No, people don't get New Year's gifts. It's not a thing.
That Dunya Brandy says otherwise. Hey, can you believe that? We had 500,000 viewers last time we were out here. The one night we had a big old bottle of brandy right in front of us, right?
In front of us, but capped.
It was sealed. It was sealed. As are our lips.
Never, not a day in our lives. That's why we're here, Joey. That's why we're here.
Ambush Wave. Great rivalry. Team split it last season. A couple of W's for the Ambush against this Milwaukee Wave squad.
Look at Paulo. right there in the coach's huddle there, just directing everybody. I mean, you talk about having coaches on the field. They have Pepe, they have Lucas Almeida, who's obviously stepped into the coaching department a little bit, as well as playing on the field. And then we talked about it last year when he stepped in as an assistant coach, even for a game. Paulo, just what he's able to do, and you saw him just a commanding presence inside of that huddle. Hoping he's trying to get this defense locked down because again, a lot of possession, a lot of shots right out of the gate for the Wave. They're going to have to cut this down. This team has won their 3 games with 7, 9, and 9 goals. That's how they win games. Again, we talked about it beforehand. This defense has been better, but this offense has been, unfortunately, struggling this entire year. Is it going to be enough to beat a team this good offensively? We're going to see.
Paulo, we call him the Brazilian Rob Lowe because he's from Brazil, and he's got the commanding presence of Rob Lowe's character on the West Wing. Punch over the top.
I was going to go with, like, the chin of a Greek statue, but that's the reason I gave him the nickname. I don't know what you were thinking.
Well, I've never seen The West Wing. I'm taking an educated guess on that. I know that's your favorite show.
The man's got a chin made out of marble. Are you kidding me? Look at the cheekbones.
He's played so well this season. Huge re-addition to this team.
Joey, it takes a lot for me to have hair envy. Let's just put it that way.
You have a wonderful head of hair.
It takes a lot for me to have hair envy, but I mean, look at the guy.
Yahic.
Speaking of somebody who's just a dominant presence in one way or another, Ian Bennett we talked to the head coach before the game, and he remarked on how if you have never seen him play and you just walk on to a field and start watching him, you're going to think he's 24, 25 because that's how special he is. Giuliano Oliviero just saying, 24, 26, maybe. That's how good Ian Bennett is. That's how young he is. That's how young he plays. And really credit to him because it all comes down to the work he puts in daily to keep his body at this kind of level at his age.
He started all of this out of the back. Milwaukee, a couple of penetrations now into the zone. Marciolete finding Bennett on the outside. Ian, the reigning MVP, twisting, testing Paulo. He stayed true, hit him in the torso. Guernsey able to shovel it out. Raymond from up top, pressured by Briggs. SK moving side to side, tracking down Lete. 1-0. Bennett was credited with the goal. An assist for Alvarez. Early strike, 3:22 mark. Now 5 and change to go in this first period. And Milwaukee, they continue to keep it mostly on this end. Huffman, clever, snuffed by Ellis. Headed back toward Bennett. Kevin trying to close him down, says Ian handed it. And indeed, that'll be the call. Ellis all over it. Clearance here for Briggs. You know, Ian Bennett has his own clothing line. You ever think about launching one of those?
I obviously have, Joey. Kidding me? Look at me.
I got a signature clothing line. It's just burlap sacks. Paulo, little toenail work there to keep Huffman out of the back of the net. Alvarez shaking and baking. Huffman trying to step through. Miss hits. Sprung, Ellis, and Cristo. That was beautiful. Trying to get it to Barry. He will end up with it. Over the top, SK has it headed away by Alex Bradley. Resuscitated by SK. Ellis trying to dance here. Stolen away by a dangerous Steinwasser. Give and go with Huffman. He lides Ellis. Gets it right back. Steinwasser trying to start it from the top. Easy enough on these crossfield passes for Milwaukee. 4:20.
Great job by Mijatovic to get a foot in there.
SK the beneficiary.
What
Chilly Willy.
What a defensive play to spark that little run there for the ambush.
Mijatovic in on the party. Using Pepe, he has Duduka on the other side.
30% chance he just blasts one from the yellow line right here.
Oh, no look. Duduka to Pepe, interrupted rudely by Sean Azqueta. Azqueta pursuing the ball. He is going to be cited for a foul. Pepe on the entry. Could this be the matchup the ambush have been looking for?
Like Pepe jawing. Is that with Huffman? He's jawing. Huffman's on the field, excuse me, but Pepe is jawing with somebody, on the Wave bench. Yeah, Huffman's on the field, so shockingly it's not him.
Mijatovic
Ooh, he takes one off the shoulder.
sends it into Huffman all the way back. Gathered by Paulo. Pepe. Volley balls for Beatmans! Just pokes it wide. Second chance. Stymac, Duduka try to earn it. Lobbed loose. Nunez. Touchback. That's clever from Stymac. Now clever from Pepe. Beatmans trying to catapult it. Misthrown here by Bonaheni. Duduka trying to vacuum it up. Beatmans. Oh, that's gorgeous, but it's Post Malone. Stymac gave it a rip.
There's something about this Beatmans and Stymac, the newbie combination. They combined for the goal and the assist on both of the goals in the last 40 seconds of the last game here in Family Arena, and they almost combined on the first one here today.
Guernsey and Mijatovic. Sequence a thing of beauty, an inch away from drawing us sea level. Duduka twisting down low, pass interrupted. Wave trying to break, hatch it out toward Paulo. Pursuing was Troy Morrison. Duduka, nice touch, quick shot. Kranz sends it wide. He's had a couple of looks. Will Niamsi, 220. Frenchie poking back and forth with Yahic. Kranz gives it a chance. Bonaheni got a glove to it, was going wide. Bradley, how about that? Unbelievable parabola, just not handled perfectly by Steinwasser. Good recovery from the ambush defense. Now they'll have to stop Ian Bennett. Using Steinwasser. Bennett, quick feet of Otto Yahic. Big time rip away there against the MVP. Great to have Yahic active once again. Not so in our last game, New Year's Eve against Kansas City. Fans will remember him, though, for the first walk-off sudden victory goal of the season. November 25th against those same Comets. OT winner in the MASL opener. Mijatovic over the top. Windex. Christo. Stoned. Turned back. Mijatovic. Oh, Christo trying to tap to him. Wave happy to escape with this. A couple of big boys coming down the middle. SK with 69 seconds left here in this first quarter.
God, that would have been a perfect set. Those kind of holding plays into the drop-offs is something we haven't seen nearly enough from the ambush. We talked to Coach Locker before the game, and he talked about how the shot attempts number came up last week. They need to keep going in that direction, and that's one of the plays that they can get easy attempts from. They have so far tonight.
Huffman wins one. Back to Leite! Post Malone.
He is so dangerous in that back line.
An inch away from making it a 2-0 game as we get under 30 seconds. Ambush at this point might be satisfied, being down just 1-0. Good step in front by SK. Out toward Christo, takes a nasty spill. He is grabbing.
Yeah, that's the second time he's taking a little bit of a shot. I think both times, a little bit earlier in the game, we mentioned it. I think that was also off his right leg, right knee. And this one even harder. The official waving in the medical staff right now.
Jean Osqueta and Robbie Christo. And Christo went down, and now he is up. Ambush crowd battling some freezing rain here in the St. Charles area tonight. To be out at the Family Arena in St. Charles. The crowd continues to fill up this great venue that hosted over 3,500 on New Year's Eve. Balloon drop and bubble guns after the game. Tonight, it's post-game autographs. Rockio is only charging $25 per signature, so make sure you get on down to the turf and get Matt's John Hancock. Hain in the closing 5 seconds. Paulo, huge stop. Bounces out to Barry, 1 second. Buzzer goes off. Still though, nice work by Paulo. He keeps it 1-0. Matt, very generous of you on that $25 price tag.
We'll do the first first 25 will be $15.
That's even more generous.
I know, right?
Looks like the spirit of Christmas is still with Matt Rocchio. Find out more about his holiday season right after this on MASL TV.
Daniel's experience with Kickaroos is he loves putting on the jersey every Saturday. He comes out, enjoys being part of the team, playing around with the ball, learning the game from his coaches, and skills that can last him a lifetime.
You know, this is what young kids sports should be like. It should be fun, it should be engaging, it should be positive. And my son Henry, when I tell him today is Thursday, he's like, is tomorrow soccer day? It's like, no, tomorrow's Friday, and then Saturday is soccer day. For a 4-year-old to have that sort of desire to keep doing an activity, it says a lot about the program. I feel like every coach that we've interacted with, they truly enjoy working with the kids. So at the end of the practice, I make it a mission of mine to say thank you and say, hey, how is my kid doing? And they're all like, oh, he's having so much fun and we love having him. And so it's clear that everybody involved really enjoys kids.
I love soccer so much, and just being a part of the game, being able to coach kids and like being able to influence them like at such a young age in this great sport, it's really something.
At Raising Cane's, we focus on getting it right every time. Quality isn't complicated, and our menu is proof.
Raising Cane's chicken fingers, one love.
Now hiring awesome crew. Apply at workatcanes.com.
Take control. Make a healthy change. Maintain a healthy weight. Exercise regularly. Don't smoke or use smokeless tobacco. Eat a healthy diet. Limit alcohol. Protect yourself from the sun and avoid tanning beds. Protect against sexually transmitted infections. Get screening tests. For more 8 Ways tips, visit siteman.woostel.edu/take control.
The Post Sports Bar and Grill. Use promo code AMBUSH online for a buy one, get one free cheesesteak. The Post Sports Bar and Grill. Stay posted.
MASLsoccer.com is your home for everything Major Arena Soccer League. All the latest news, standings, and in-depth features. Bookmark the page now so you don't miss a note at MASLsoccer.com. MASL Monday is back with a familiar face. Join Alex Bostavansky and special guests each week to recap the weekend's games and keep up to date on all the latest news with MASL Monday.
St. Louis Ambush Soccer right here on MASL TV. End of one. Ambush down 1-0 against the Milwaukee Wave. Duduka on the opening tap, back to Stefan Mijatovic. Pepe uses the wedge here. Biment trying to get it back to Stymack. They might have figured that move out. Two of them have linked up on a couple of good chances. Alvarez, the start of the opportunity. Ooh, hard hit through the middle. The Stymack shouldered down by Alvarez. Mijatovic pleading the case. Looks like we will stay cardless for now. The Stymack checking for blood.
It's definitely a stoppage, warranting play, but it's not a purposeful kind of tackling situation, and so I don't think it actually warrants a card. I think it's a great play by the official.
Stymack with Mijatovic. Slither out of the back around Andre Hain. Pepe skips a pebble. Biment wants to get it on the pond. Duduka set up in the middle. Mijatovic out of the sniper's nest. Stefan, the outside of the foot, wanted Biment. His reputation precedes him now. Biment, the hero of the comeback against Kansas City. Steinwasser all over him. He and Stymack each with a goal and an assist in the final minute of regulation. Ambush would lose on a shorthanded goal in overtime, but it's one of the most exciting minutes.
What a goal. My
Huff
Lord.
the stuff.
My Lord, Huff is the stuff on that one. That was incredible. Anytime you're taking a shot from that kind of angle, all you have is the top. All you have is a little window. I think it was Azqueta on the long pass and the one-touch turnage by Huffman. That is a monstrous goal. You know, they put Leite and they put Huffman down as defenders on the roster, but with their impact, and Huffman's the third leading scorer, I should say, on this team, that's just what he's able to do is just absolutely unbelievable.
Gorgeous feed from Osqueta.
Wow.
Off the stuff, that's rough.
There's no angle that he puts that in, Joey. That we saw one of those, I think, last week too. Upper 90 from a harsh angle like that. That's got to be one of the prettiest goals in soccer.
There's a reason they are 3-0-1 so far this season. Milwaukee, which is a legendary franchise, the oldest continuously operating professional soccer team in the United States. They date back to 1984. They've won the MASL 7 times. And at one point, they won so many games against the Ambush that we're not even going to mention how many games they were.
But we
that
broke that,
streak was snapped a couple of times last year. Oh! Mijatovic almost snaps this into the goal. Bonahenne's clearance ended up off his body.
What an effort and luck combination goal.
Yahic Niamsi.
Wow.
Great effort there as well. In his return game, almost scores. Stopped at the door. Now Bennett on the other side. Ian trying to center. Oh, Paulo misplayed it slightly. Turned on him by Hain. And tied up.
That was a heady play by Kranz. The way he hooked Hain. And
you didn't have much choice.
Didn't get an uglier call than that. Is a professional look. That's the kind of play that if he goes any harder than the way he does, it's an immediate card. But he went just light enough that it was a good, not great set piece for them, but even better, not a card or an easy goal against the Ambush.
Leite against 3 on the wall. Elects to go to Bennett. Mijatovic sacrifices the legs. All the way out to the cereal bowl. Bonahenne trying to launch. Taken away now. Good bounce for SK. Alex Bradley, who lost it initially.
That was an impressive run by Bradley to catch up there and steal that ball back.
Great effort.
Impressive. The Rocket, Robbie Christo.
Uses the noggin.
I don't know how he got that ball away.
High kicking. But the Milwaukee Wave take it back. Fans want a handball here on the near side. Steinwasser, he got it with the wrist, and that call is going to come through. The linesman says put it down right there. Buried to Duduka, who bursts through. Pepe sidestepping. Sets up Mijatovic. Off the wall. Maybe wanted it back to himself. Got tangled with a Wave defender. Mijatovic's first foul since Wiedebach down. 11:56 left to go here in the second. 2-0 Milwaukee. They've controlled the larger portion of this game. Goal by Huffman. The first strike of this second. Bonahenne makes himself available. Duduka in pursuit. Slipped down the near side wall. Nunes. Paulo. Easy pickup. Goes bowling. Barry. Far side. Excellent work to sidestep Steinwasser. Sam Guernsey. Long launch. Steinbach wanted Bement. Alvarez ends up with it. Marcio Leite from Arakahu.
That's got to be an out of bounds. Yeah, they left a change that they didn't expect. Leite sends it perfectly at the trailing, or leaving, I should say, Wave player, and it bounced into the bench. And that's possession for the Ambush.
Steinbach, Bement, give outside, chance, banged way high. Pepe fires it up and just launches it well high.
Needed some turnage there from B-Men. Don't know if you want to pass back out in that situation. You're not going to get a lot of balls right there, 5 yards from the touch line in that situation very often.
We've gotten good space at the top of the key. A couple of setups. That one lobbed out of bounds. Asqueta wanted a call, but they told him no foul, you kicked it out. Ambush are going to be able to move this up. Or perhaps they're just holding the ball here as the Wave continue to protest. Looks like the ultimate ruling will stay with the Ambush.
And Niamsi almost called a timeout. I wonder what he wanted everyone to powwow about.
Yahich off the board. Bonaheny, easy enough. Catapult, Ellis, great anticipation. Chest, Cran's got it down. Bounce through the middle. Niamsi trying to rise to his feet and take the ball. That's wonderful. Will Niamsi with 10:43. Fires here just a little bit high. Hits the glass. Streaked out by Asqueta. Asqueta deflected by Mijatovic. Went just wide. Enough spin from the deflection that it ended up on the right side of the post for us. Yahich. Pepe in the middle. Goes cross. Quick shot by Cristo, and he sends that one high as well. Robbie has scored 3 goals this season. All 3 of them came against Kansas City on December 17th. Anything he could do to heat back up?
You know, it's going to be tricky. They've tried so many different ways to get him involved. I think it's been successful. I think he's just the classic example of Coach Locker's comments about the need for their efficiency to be a little bit better. He's getting okay opportunities. They need to give him more opportunities, but he's just got to start finishing better. That's the bottom line. His effort to get his spots is where it needs to be. His finishing is not.
Pepe to SK after Mijatovic axed out a chance for Huffman and co. SK's shot deflected on the way in to Bonaheny. Easy grab for him. He came into play tonight, 49 for 69 on shot attempts this season. Pitching a shutout so far this evening. Mijatovic down on the other side. He and Troy Morrison collide. Morrison cited for the foul.
Mijatovic might have turned a little bit late to protect the ball there, but his space.
Oh, Bement trying to flick it on the service from Mijatovic.
Bonaheny with great charge, great punch. You love it when you have an aggressive goaltender, not afraid of that.
He's been credited with every decision, 3-0-1 for the Wave this season. Augie Ray has played 4 seconds this season. The rest have been Bonaheny. You ever do anything for just 4 seconds? Oh, Bement! 4 seconds later, almost toenails one home. Guernsey won't let it out. He rips one off the post. Cristo on the other side. Didn't get it as cleanly as he wanted. Snake in the grass. Bonaheny will keep the pace up.
Joey, there's no doubt that the Huffman goal might be a candidate for goal of the year, if not especially goal of the week. But you take away that goal, and it's really luck that is the difference between this game. You have the own goal essentially for the first goal for the Wave, and then you have 4 pieces off the woodwork for the ambush. That's sometimes it just doesn't break your way.
More wood than a Wonderful World of Beavers exhibit right now. We've hit posts, we've hit crossbars, we have hit everything but the back of the net against this Milwaukee Wave team that's been one of the most effective this season. Points and wins this year, they've been right there with these other clubs, same pace. It's just this is only their 5th game of the season. Second time, though, against the ambush.
I think if you're the ambush, the positivity is we keep putting the looks that we're getting right now on goal. Eventually, one's going to, find the spot 3 inches to the left or right instead of hitting post. It's going to be in the back of the net. But so far, the Wave are giving them everything they can handle offensively.
Stymack. Grace of the good Lord, that one stayed playable for the ambush. Hit the very top of the bench. Crashed through. Steinwasser doesn't get the whistle. Now Yahich trying to make something out of it. Yahich, gold medalist, World Futsal Championships. Great to see his creativity back out there on the turf. Trying to orchestrate. Ellis saying we've got to move around. Pepe, long, wanted Stymack. Got by him. Wiedebach slamming it. Yahich set up well. Cross court. Ellis with about 8. And that's a few that the ambush have mailed high as well. Stay over the ball. We know Ellis is more than capable of doing that. Had one of the most beautiful goals of the year last time we were here against Kansas City.
Yeah, absolutely, and that was something special to see, but you got to get closer looks. You got to get inside the yellow line a little bit here if you're going to want to score against a team like this. Got to work a little bit harder.
Poke back Alvarez, fed to him by Morrison, who's back after the collision. Alvarez tapping brakes. SK making it difficult. Bonaheny. Huffman.
What a pass there from the tender. Anytime you can get your offense set up like that, completely reset the defense, that's a huge pass from the goaltender.
Christo tracking Bennett. Guernsey tracking Huffman. Much easier to track Huffman. He just stays up there. Bennett goes everywhere. Christo ends up with the ball. Little flick. SK. Hard contact. Ends up in the board. And the card's coming out, baby. Ambush power play in the microwave. 7:22 left here in the first half.
Great little pass there to set up SK. And yeah, Morrison, SK might have sold it a little bit, but Morrison undoubtedly threw a shoulder and extended a little bit, and you're going to get the call every time. You might not get the blue card every time in that situation, but you're giving a team a pretty sweet free kick, pretty sweet set piece. Anytime you're going to extend with the shoulder like that, surprised he got the card actually, but it's a huge opportunity now for the ambush on a power play. They haven't been great this year, but this is a chance to change it and the chance they need. 7:22 left in the second, down 2. Got to change the momentum of this game, Joey.
Power plays were a problem against Kansas City, and now a yellow card's come out.
Hello.
Fans love it. Looks like it's Leite.
A little too much talking. Leite didn't like the call. Leite didn't like the call again.
Well,
he undoubtedly,
Huffman is coming off that disparaging language.
Morrison undoubtedly moved his arm. You cannot complain about having it be a free kick. I understand maybe complaining about the power play, but
it does stay 5-on-4, but 2 in the box. Ellis tapping Yahic. Banged it in to be meant. Yahic couldn't believe it. That one ends up with Christian Briggs on the bench. Ambush lost on a shorthanded tragedy against Kansas City on New Year's Eve. Had a couple of power plays in overtime, could not cash. And Kansas City was consistent in that game, taking advantage of their advantages. That ended up being the difference in the 6-5 loss. Ellis tried to touch it forward. Steinwasser got in the way. Mijatovic able to stave him. Paulo stalking forward, hoping his offense can get it going. Yahic.
Great job by Mijatovic to save that, by the way. I mean, that's the kind of play that Steinwasser almost got a break with Ian Bennett in the middle, but coming, charging from behind. That's the worst case scenario for a potential shorthanded goal.
Bement almost through the middle. Popped long. Paulo gets it under control with 65 seconds left. Ellis off the near side wall. Putter. Mijatovic onto the miniature golf course. Bonaheny on the stop. Ellis resuscitates. He's corkscrewed to the ground. What's it call? It doesn't come. Bennett brings it out of the back, trying to surf by Yahic. Great couple of chances.
What a save by Bonaheny. Wow. Parallel to the ground. Reaching his arms out for the one save. Both hands extended. What an incredible save. That had to hurt coming down to the ground.
There is a red piece of laundry in front of the ambush bench. Challenge flag has been thrown. We will see if this one makes it as far as the video monitor. And indeed, it looks like it will. Giuliano getting an explanation on the bench. His confused Milwaukee Wave team looking on. You have to think the challenge is for that takedown of Ellis through the middle. Any chance we win this one?
I doubt it. I mean, it was a ticket. That's the definition of kind of incidental, in my opinion. Yeah, I don't think he's leaving anything out there. Ellis doesn't have the ball in his feet. He doesn't come in there dirty.
Well, Ellis looked like he thought he deserved the call.
That's fine, but we're looking at it up here, Joey. I mean, he didn't have clear touch on the ball. I mean, his Steinwasser's leg is in front of Kevin Ellis's. It's his leg is between Kevin Ellis's and the ball when he comes through. I mean, Kevin Ellis didn't have possession, and he's between the ball and Kevin Ellis. You can't be getting called for a foul when it goes ball, your foot, the other player. That's soccer physics, Joey.
They've got the video replay going. First time in MASL history we've had this feature. Ellis, and you could see Yahic on that replay was asking for the call as well. Yahic checking. Looks like our refereeing crew is starting to report the information. Headset is off. Challenge flag going to be returned. Bennett wants that explanation as well. And Jeff Locker tosses the handkerchief aside. Has it served its purpose? Ellis has put the ball on the spot. And where does this end up going?
I think it's getting moved. Yeah, I think Ellis is still complaining. I think it's getting moved.
He wants that clear on, unchallenged.
Ball's getting moved.
Instead, it's going to be moved way beyond the yellow line, at least for now. They got the floss cam going, and we are trying to floss out what is going on right now. Looks like it's going to go all the way back to midfield, so I guess the challenge was unsuccessful. Ellis can't believe it again. He took the ball and put it on the spot, but you saw Locker toss away that handkerchief. You can tell he was frustrated, and they just let Yahic and Ellis tap it off again. 20 seconds left on the power play. Duduka. Otto. Duduka, his signature move, trying to back in. Yahic banging. Bement trying to deflect. Ends up with Otto once again. Under 10. Ellis twisting. Mijatovic. Pressured here by Huffman. Yahic with Morrison about to come out of the box. Looking for Duduka. Now steps in. Duduka fires this one off the window pane. Deflect out to Mijatovic. A rocket through the middle. Regathered at even strength by Duduka. 5:09 left, second quarter. Ellis looking for Bement, perhaps. Yahic trying to keep the envelope sealed. Busted out of the post office by Milwaukee. Ellis left to his lonesome up top. Gathers a head of steam. Tries to pass to Bement. Bradley up top, and this time it'll be Ellis who's whistle. He tries to touch the ball and gets bodied away. And it looks like there might be a conversation about to happen.
I think his crew's doing a good job. I think giving the warnings when they need to, keeping the cards down when they need to, maybe a little bit, falling for maybe a little bit of the chicanery, if you will, giving a card down here for the ambush, but still letting them play to a point, but making sure they're not letting it get too far.
Hain got it back toward midfield. Ellis was in no hurry to talk to the referees. You can tell he's frustrated. Just went right to the bench after getting that whistle. Ellis, the key addition this offseason for an ambush team that has utilized him at both ends. Steinwasser. Good bounce here for Pepe. Pressured by Nunez. Pepe. Give back. Chili Willie. Apollo, he's played well enough, just hasn't gotten the offensive support. Hint of bad luck. A couple of fixtures touched by ambush boots. Goals by Bennett and Huffman. The difference in the game right now, Wiedebach wants to add one. Luckily, that one way over everything. Ambush take it back, 3:47.
Not a lot of prime chances for the Wave here in the second compared to the first. Wiedebach, though, wastes one of them, just absolutely skying that one. He had a pretty free reign comparatively.
You ever been up to Mequon, Wisconsin?
Can't say I have.
I've been there. I'm not sure I'm saying that right, though.
I think I've been into the state of Wisconsin before.
You've never been to the state of Wisconsin?
I have not.
Never been to the town that Laverne and Shirley built?
I don't know what town that is.
The Milwaukee Wave. Obviously, you're not a big Nick at Night guy, huh?
No, I'm not. Sorry.
Christo.
Sorry, Joey. I'm sorry.
Well, hey, Laverne and Shirley, that's a little bit of a while ago. SK sliding through.
Is it Milwaukee?
It is Milwaukee.
Oh,
That's what I'm saying. It's a Milwaukee Wave.
Oh,
it's
okay.
Milwaukee. Laverne and Shirley, two gals up there in Milwaukee working at a brewery. The 1970s.
That's what the show's about?
That's what the show's about.
They work in a brewery?
Oh, they are like the key people at the brewery.
What?
Oh, yeah. Alvarez stoned by Paulo. Cristo. Oh, here we go. Robbie ripping.
Everything is high today, man.
Schlemiel.
There's something.
Schlemiel. Haas and Pfeffer Incorporated. That was the start of the Laverne and Shirley theme song. I probably got about 70% of those words right, but they're really just nonsense.
I don't know why Mijatovic thought putting his arm up was going to go well there for him.
Mijatovic had to go behind. Paulo tried to head it out. Hoffman not happy here. Hoffman is thinking this should belong to the Wave. Looks like it's going to go to the ambush. You got to check out Laverne and Shirley. It's going to give us something to talk about next time we play the Wave, right? I believe Michael McKean got his start on Laverne and Shirley. Spin-off of Happy Days.
You're pitching over my head, man. You're pitching over my head.
Well, speaking of pitching.
Happy Days, I know. Okay, that's more in my wheelhouse.
Giuliano has pitched his yellow flag onto the field. I like that the flag for Milwaukee matches their jerseys. A lot of people would not go through that effort.
I personally like that a league decided we have instant replay. Let's challenge non-calls.
Ooh, I like that.
It opens up a little bit of a Pandora's box, but I say take the risk. And they open Pandora's box, and I think it's a good idea, and I think they're challenging whether or not Mijatovic, when we joked around there and said he got his arm up a little bit, what were you thinking, Stefan? I think they're challenging whether or not it was a handball. I mean, it would be. I think he was technically on this side, aka the non-attacking third side of the blast, or the Wave, excuse me. He was clearly in the middle of the field, between the two yellow lines. But nonetheless, if you're going to use it for a crucial possession, potentially with a little bit of an advantage, I like to use it to the challenge here.
Speaking of Pandora, did you see the new Avatar movie?
God, what are you doing? I did.
You did? Did you paint yourself blue before you went to go see the new Avatar movie?
No, I did not.
Did you show up in a Darth Vader costume for the new Avatar movie?
I did not. Did I like the new Avatar movie?
Did you like the new Avatar movie?
I did not.
The Way of Water. Not a fan, huh?
All right, we got a call here. And no handball.
Hey.
He was pushed into it, apparently, is what the official commentary from the officials is.
He was pushed into it as the main character in Avatar was initially pushed into the Avatar experiment. Jake Sully.
I'm not the soccer aficionado of some people out there, I'll admit that, but your arm pushed up in the air like that?
I'll take it.
All right.
Kevin Ellis, he'll take that. Mijatovic, looking to go to work. Hey, I like that new Avatar movie. And apparently we're getting like 5 more here over the next decade. Ellis! Bonahenne getting mitts to that. Morrison trying to secure. Gets it through the emergency hatch. Wanted Huffman. Won't be able to catch up with that. Mijatovic was trying to chase him down. Doesn't matter as it gets into the first row.
Joey, I'm bad at waiting. I remember last year when the last ambush game finished, which you weren't here for.
That's right.
And I was very sad because I was like, can we do this next week? Why do I have to wait? Why do I have to wait till November? I don't want to wait till November. I don't want to wait 10 more years to watch 5 of those movies. I don't care how bad they are. Don't tell me something that's coming 10 years from now and then make me wait for it.
Be bent with doubt. What's your prediction for the end of the Avatar series? What's the last thing that happens?
James Cameron makes $1 million. I don't know. James Cameron makes a lot of money. That's my guess.
I think there's going to be a DC crossover with Avatar. When do you pay to see that?
This is worse than you singing.
Duduka.
I mean,
so many times,
who
way
put
over.
helium in the balls today? It's ridiculous. Every single shot in this game between the Wave and the ambush is skying well over the glass. If you're sitting in the upper bowl, you might have to stay a little bit frostier than usual.
They got their flashlights out. This is a great crowd that's battled some bad weather here in St. Charles tonight. Matt had the time of his life getting here from Chaffetz Arena, where his other team was playing. Freezing rain most of the way. Payne, some freezing rain through the middle. Melted by Paulo.
A lot of Billikens in the room now. We got another one. Another Anthony Brown added to the roster. Another Billiken. Got to talk to him before the game. We're not going to see him tonight. We mentioned the 2 new additions. Me and Joey got to talk to both of them after the pregame show where we mentioned them.
Roster was going to get better as the season went along. We knew that. Some really key additions. A lot of new faces on this team and a lot of guys who are going to be successful in the indoor game. Haynes stopped at the gates by Kranz, but he might have gotten him with a foul.
And you know, and give credit to the ownership and the GM of this organization. There was a lot of criticism, I think, from the fans. If you were ready to hear it, the lack of roster change positively for the ambush. And then it comes into the season, and obviously you have the news about some visas not being 100% locked in, and now, new year, January, we're talking about Bement being a big player, Steinmack being a big player, getting 2 new players on the roster in the next week or 2, getting Will Niamsi back. We're talking about 5 players different than game 1. Absolutely unbelievable work.
Huffman, Bradley, and Bennett. Entry denied. Kranz fired up. Has a word with the linesman. The final minute before our 15-minute halftime intermission. Esqueta finding Huffman back through the middle. Guernsey got a piece.
Great job by Guernsey just to stop that one, give Paolo a chance to play it, slow it down, turn possession, go the other way. They can get one here. Completely changes the halftime meeting for the ambush. They've been great here in the second quarter, but they need to make some proof of it on the scoreboard.
Guernsey, it was actually him, not Kranz, who was talking with the lineman after taking one away from Bennett. Gets back to the bench. SK and Barry. Scotch tape up top. Oh, Marcel. Tapping Cristo!
What a play by Bradley defensively to sneak past there, cover the back post. So important. What a defensive play.
Under 10. Bennett almost tipped out there by Esqueta. Barry, 3 seconds. Just bounces it. Bonaheny, easy enough on the grab. It's over for 15. 2-0. It's Ambush Wave. More to come after this on MASL TV.
Shoot! He
This is MASL at the half. What's going on, everyone? I'm Alex Basz-Javansky. Great to see you again. Hope you're loving the game so far. There's tons of stuff going on in the MASL at the moment. Here's a look at the latest.
So we'll see him up in the upper half a little more. Luis Morales, first shot, and there is the goal in the game. Just a few seconds, and Luis Cebollas Morales already making Dallas Sidekicks fans cry.
16 seconds. That's all it took for Luis Morales to open the scoring against his former club in this contest. The Dallas Derby resumed after a 2-season hiatus. Morales had 3 points for Mesquite in Game 1 of the home-and-home series. Alberto Rodriguez had 4 tallies for Dallas as they tried to rally back from a 7-0 deficit, but ultimately fell just short on December 29th. A huge East-West matchup went down as Florida hosted Chihuahua, who were anything but polite guests. The good for Florida, Victor Pereira continued his hot play with 3 points. The bad, Chihuahua was absolutely clinical in his finishing, led by Brian Macias, who had 2 goals and 2 assists, and Roberto Escalante, who added 3 points. The Savage with the smackdown as they beat up on the Tropics 9-5. The Battle of Missouri renewed in St. Louis last weekend, and this was one of the best games of the year so far. Back and forth they went. Brian Bement tied it for the ambush with just 19 seconds left, but James Togba shattered the hopes and dreams of the big home crowd with the overtime winner, his second of the contest. KC takes it 6-5 and now have won 3 of 4 against their in-state rivals this season. Other games to tell you about: Florida edged Utica 10-9. Monterey takes down KC 6-5 on the 29th. Milwaukee takes down Utica 9-7. And in the return game in the Dallas Derby, Mesquite takes down Dallas 8-7. Okay, trade alert to tell you about, and it's a good old-fashioned, straight-up, one-for-one deal On December 28th, the Sidekicks sent defender Mike Jones to the Florida Tropics in exchange for Vicmor Eligwe. Jones is a veteran of 121 MASL games. Eligwe missed most of last season due to a leg injury, but he has serious offensive punch and scored in his debut for Dallas last weekend. Scoring leaders, John Sosa retakes the lead with 16 points, followed by Lucas Roque, Sosa's teammate Lucas Souza, and then it's Florida teammates Victor Pereira and Drew Ruggles to round out your top 5 players of the week. And your defensive player is James Togba of the Kansas City Comets, who, in addition to being exceptional defensively, had a big week offensively. 3 points in 2 games, including, of course, the overtime winner against the St. Louis Ambush. And your offensive player of the week, Ian Bennett, just continues to roll right along. The 2-time reigning MASL MVP, 5 goals in the game against Utica that the Wave won 9-7. IB26, the ageless wonder, just continuing to get it done. And your goal of the week, we're going to give it to Alberto Rodriguez of the Dallas Sidekicks. So many good ones to choose from, but here he turns the defender inside out, goes top shelf for the beauty. Upcoming games to tell you about: Monterey and Milwaukee, Dallas and Chihuahua, Harrisburg at Tacoma, St. Louis at Utica, and Milwaukee in Florida to take on the Tropics on the 15th of January. Then Mesquite will head to Dallas, Chihuahua in Monterey, Harrisburg at Tacoma to face the Stars, and KC in San Diego to take on the defending MASL champs. And just a reminder that even if you can't be there in person to watch the game at the arena, not to worry, we got you covered. You can follow every single MASL game live on Twitch. Thanks so much for watching, everyone. Enjoy the rest of the game. See you next time.
The Ambassador, Milwaukee's landmark Art Deco hotel, is the official hotel of your Milwaukee Wave and the perfect place to meet up with family or friends before or after the game.
Hey.
Hey, Abby. I see the whole fam's here. Are you guys going to take the shuttle down to the game? Yeah. Love it.
Enjoy free parking and shuttle service to and from Panther Arena when you dine before the game. The Ambassador, the official hotel of your Milwaukee Wave. Get ready to stuff your face, Milwaukee. Doghouse Ballpark Commons open soon. And we're hiring. Learn more at rockventures.org. That's ROCventures.org.
The doctors of Signature Orthopedics are committed to providing the most advanced and innovative diagnostic, treatment, and, if needed, surgical options available in the entire St. Louis region. With 22 orthopedic surgeons and pain management specialists, board certified in every aspect of orthopedic care, including sports medicine, we have you covered. From foot, ankle, knee, hip, shoulder, elbow, wrist, and spine. Contact Signature Orthopedics today.
Thanks for stopping by.
Thanks for shopping today.
Thanks for doing business with us.
Thank you so much.
Hey, thanks for coming again.
Thank you. 2 simple words that convey appreciation and gratitude. At Educators Credit Union, our member loyalty program puts action behind the words thank you by rewarding members with cash just for using their accounts with us. It's our way of truly saying thank you. Join today at ECU.com.
Get ready to tee off like you never have before. Now open on the campus of Ballpark Commons, Lux Golf Bays, a high-tech driving range with 57 golf bays on 3 stories, overlooking a 250-yard-long turf range with Doppler technology. A second-floor indoor event space for your private event or group outing. Also a heated, covered beer garden, along with 2 brand-new restaurants. Become a member, learn more, and plan your event at luxgolfbays.com.
This is why I'm here. This is why I'm all in. Better out there starts in here.
We're going to give you the price of admission off of the Zero pillow that's going to fit you.
I love that.
So just bring your ticket in, or your digital ticket, your paper ticket, whatever you got. When you go to the game, you can come in and we'll take the price of going to the game off of the pillow that fits. And these girls know the pillows are so good.
The official sleep specialist.
The
of the
official
St. Louis Ambush.
sleep specialist of the St. Louis Ambush. And show us your shirt, Pat. Sleep rules, baby. Sleep rules.
Eyes require a certain kind of care. As a family-owned optical company for over 40 years, Wisconsin Vision knows firsthand just how important your eyes are. That's why our doctors and staff are highly skilled and passionate in their roles. It's why our centers offer a large selection of eyewear suitable for all lifestyles, and it's why our lens lab is state-of-the-art, conveniently located right here in Wisconsin. Ask about $100 off a complete pair, frame and lenses. Wisconsin Vision. See more life.
My feet go boom, 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 boom. My heart beats boom, 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 boom. Heart speed goes zoom, 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 zoom. My feet go boom, boom, boom. Walking away from me. That's what I'm gonna do. You can't stop me, 'cause my pain is got something I can't wait now. But nobody, if you break my heart, is 1, 2, 3. Walking away from you.
MASL Soccer on Twitch is brought to you by Sports Illustrated Tickets. Want to see a game live? Visit Sports Illustrated Tickets for the best tickets to see the MASL action in your favorite arenas. And get the latest news on the MASL and your favorite teams by following MASL Soccer on Facebook and Instagram, and MASL Arena on Twitter.
St. Louis Ambush Soccer compete on MASL TV. End of 30. Ambush trailing the Milwaukee Wave, score of 2-0. Wave got a goal from Ian Bennett. Deflected ball back to him, and then Huffman had just a gorgeous finish in the second quarter. The goal once again by Bennett. Alvarez and SK was trying to shield him away from the ball. We were wondering if maybe that hit SK. Ultimately, it has gone down as a Bennett goal. He was right there. Then out of the back, Sean Escueta sending one to Huffman. Gorgeous finish. And what do you call that little walk he does there?
I have no idea.
I didn't know if he was supposed to be a rooster or what. A walking fish. Mijatovic almost finding a way to get a fish in the tank, and then Ellis spiraled down on the way in by Steinwasser. Ellis wanted a chance, and a penalty. That call was not given to the Ambush. Team was on a power play at that point. Ended up being fruitless. Mark Baker and Paulo, the goaltending unit, returning here for the start of the second half. Paulo, he's played well. He's had a couple of signature saves, but this offense has to find a way to figure it out on the other end against one of the most effective goalkeepers in the MASL this season. William Bonaheny living up to his reputation tonight.
He's been absolutely incredible. He's a strong goaltender. I mean, he's been great on the outlet passes if you want to talk about the other aspect of the game, but just a couple of huge saves, including the one where he went full parallel to the ground, absolutely just reaching out to his left side. Just an incredible save he made down on that right side of the field. He's been incredible. Obviously, Ian Bennett's come to play, and all the big names really on the Wave that you'd expect, the ones that caused the ambush problems last year. Leite, Oliveira, Alvarez, Bennett. Again, these are the guys who have been a problem for them for multiple years. Huffman, and they just keep continuing to be huge for Milwaukee in just their second away game of the season.
6 of the 7 games so far this year for the St. Louis Ambush have been against either the Milwaukee Wave or the Kansas City Comets. And the Comets will be with us here at the Family Arena January 20th, 7:35 p.m. Little Friday night soccer for you in St. Charles. Happy to get the Comets back here in St. Charles. That is our next home game. Ambush hit the road to beautiful Utica. 1 o'clock Central Time start on January the 15th. That's the next game for the St. Louis Ambush. You ever hear about that contest they held up there in Utica? This is a famous saying. You ever heard the famous saying about the contest in Utica?
No.
There's a contest in Utica.
This is better than the alternatives, so keep going.
There's a contest. The first prize is a week in Utica. The second place prize is 2 weeks in Utica.
That's uncalled for. I'm sure it's a wonderful city.
I won't phone in and
you.
say that to the Utica Comets up there when the Ambush are in town January 15th. That is not mine. I'm just reciting something that I found on the internet a couple of nights ago.
Joey, like we always say, the best artists, good artists steal, good artists borrow, great artists steal outright.
And I believe it was a St. Louisan who actually came up with that quote, T.S. Eliot, though I think it was stolen from him by Pablo Picasso.
I thought Mark Twain was involved in it one way or another.
Well, it is Missouri.
Yeah, well.
Alvarez gummy worms it down the far side. Steinwasser digs it back to him. Often moving here in the third quarter. Bennett healing this one toward Hain. Guernsey, Secret Service defense. Popped over Bimetz. Alvarez tried to get to. Chili Willie has it badmintoned back into the St. Louis end. Barry looking to step by Hain. 2 hands up for the linesman.
And you have numbers right now if you just get out and run if you're the Ambush. You got to realize that.
Briggs turned away, but Guernsey won't be! Oh, Sam Guernsey! Dropping it in like a bathroom break at a parachute testing center. 2-1 Ambush on the board, just 45 seconds into the third.
And what a shot there. Not as difficult as Huffman's, but pretty impressive. He was going into his left, but he had to finish that with his right foot, sending it kind of with an off-kilter kind of parabola, if you will, Joey Zanaboni. What an impressive shot there by Guernsey to put that one in a beautiful little run-in transition by the Ambush. They've done that really well today, Joey. It's been one of the few things I think they've done better than the Wave is getting out and running in their passing and setting up their shots when they're in the run like that. That was just a beautiful example of them setting that one up. Credit to the Wave. Maybe I should say, haven't been great in transition a lot, but of course there is that long pass that set up the Huffman goal. Pretty impressive, the Huffman goal, and then that one right there for Guernsey.
Beautiful setup, a great shot, and a great shot in the arm. Ambush held scoreless for the first 30, but strike in the first minute of the second. Briggs given the apple. Guernsey on the strike. Huffman trying to turn it here against Pepe. Centering, patience, Morrison down low, and Milwaukee takes it right back.
Wow,
27 seconds later, Morrison strikes.
Morrison almost waits too long and loses the window for that goal, but Paolo playing a little bit more of a aggressive style of goaltending, which we've seen him do. He comes sliding out. He gets pinned under his own player. A great recovery there, but Morrison just very confidently and calmly stops that ball, resets, and puts it in the back of an empty net.
Good pass from Huffman. Leite, he was calling for Morrison to shoot that right away, and Morrison, he stayed patient as well. and ended up almost having it stopped by Paulo. It goes through, though. Wave back to a 2-goal lead. Cristo.
And
back to Guernsey.
By the way, credit to Troy Morrison playing his second game of the year for the Wave tonight. He's been very solid, getting his first points, getting his first goal of the season. Congratulations to Troy.
Niamsi looking to win it back. Guernsey comes crashing through. Smacked out off of a Wave defender. Guernsey was calling for it to go, and initially the call was going the way of the ambush. But now it's been changed. It will come out with the Milwaukee Wave. Seems tipped again by the ambush on the way to the first row. Gone with it, Bradley Long. Guernsey elevates. Yahic almost got a foot spoon to that. Just took it off the Milwaukee Wave bench. We've seen that happen before this season where a player puts the foot all the way up over the wall and kind of gets stuck. It can be dangerous. Putter, Alvarez. Bradley was calling for it. Sent longer than him. What a pass. What a save!
And then what a clearance by Guernsey.
It was incredible from Hain to Bradley. Paulo all over it. Now Hain wants it again. Off the cardboard, leaks through. Cristo emergency duty. Out to Niamsi.
Alex Steinwasher, number 44, the more offensive of the Steinwashers. Great job charging that one. Great setup there from it by Hain. Almost an easy goal there from the Wave. Just bounced, didn't go exactly the way they needed it to.
Huffman. Poke back, Niamsi.
It's a bad turnover for the Wave. Ambush got to make something happen here.
SK with Barry flying onto the field. Trying to tap to Marcel. Huffman fighting for every square inch. Bennett tries to clear. Bement made it difficult. Bang back toward Mijatovic. Out of the air. Gets some clearance. Huge stop from Bonaheny.
Wow. Another amazing parallel to the ground save from Bonaheny. Completely reached.
Pepe.
Another one.
Makes him replicate it there.
Bonaheny just reaching all out over the place. I mean, gosh. Guys, reach radius is ridiculous.
Lucky bounce off the top of the wall. Earns a chance. Alvarez wanted Bennett. Stifled by Paulo. Mijatovic in a trap. Barry looking to tic-tac-toe out. He's got Bement.
Incredible trap break.
Brian just wide. Second try. Barry didn't get it off cleanly. Bonaheny long. Briggs trying to cut off Raymond.
I hope we see a replay of that shot against Bonaheny because it was a textbook example of how to make the angle your friend as a goaltender. He gave Bement the absolute least amount of open goal possible when you're alone and coming from that angle. That was incredibly technical goalie play by Bonaheny. No shock there. I mean, that was beautiful. The way he walled off the longer end of the post and also at the same time kind of had him cheat towards the short end while completely taking away any angle beyond him curving it around. That was a textbook play by Bonaheny. Absolutely amazing. He has been fantastic in the last 90 seconds, have been a treatise on goaltending.
Morrison bumped Marcel Barry, who came off the field with his hand on his face around the jaw. A red flag has gone onto the field. Another ambush challenge here to see if we can get anything out of this. Besides the ball on the foul from Morrison, the latest goal scorer for Milwaukee. 3-1 they lead, 11-12 left in the third. Bonaheny's been really good. Paulo also solid on the other side. Barry had a chance. He had more of a look on that Bement just wide as well, and he knew it. Defenders were around him, but there was a slight opening. He ends up getting the foul on the other end that they review right now.
Joey, sometimes there's a little powwow conversation between players, and I wish, there's certain ones I really wish I could listen into. Marcel Lete and Kevin Ellis have been talking for the last about 90 seconds, and they were laughing at first before they just have a genial conversation. Fly on the wall in that conversation. Where do you think they're going to go to dinner tonight?
Well, I'd have to say, if I had to guess here, it's got to be the post.
I'd say so. Why not? Maybe a little Raising Cane's if they're in a rush. I mean, I'm sure Milwaukee's got a bus to catch.
I saw that bus pull up. 5 o'clock. Got here at the Family Arena in St. Charles. Duduka We don't get any sort of penalty out of it, but do get possession.
So far, we've had 3 challenge flags. We've got no penalties out of all 3 of them. But again, I like the decision by the MASL to open the box and say, let's try this out and see how it works. Let's get it right. You got the technology, get it right.
Alex Steinwasser trying to lead a break. Now Bradley tries to bring it out. Ellis! Tripped by Steinwasser. Pepe wants a card. Ellis looks around as well.
Good call. They get tangled up. Nothing malicious, nothing undue out of, that's tried to play the ball, got a little ball, got a bit of foot there. You give him possession, give him advantage. No need for a card.
Mijatovic rolling with Jahic. Bent toward Christo. Mijatovic. Pepe! Bonaheni dives out to greet it.
That was a perfectly weighted ball from Mijatovic. But Bonaheni, with the fearsome punch, he's playing that aggressive style all night. It keeps working out for him.
Stefan. Will. Niamsi wanted Jahic. Stopped on the way in. Mijatovic. Piece through. Christo! Defense excellent from Bradley. Catches a hot air balloon. Christian Briggs trying to pick up the pieces. A lot of backspin on it. Ends up in the midst of Bonaheni. Once long. Mijatovic fronting it. Gets over his head. Asqueta! Mesh.
What an incredible 1-2 goal there. Bonaheni, the long ball. Stefan Mijatovic still not happy. He wanted a penalty called on. Was that Asqueta?
That's right.
Asqueta was the one who was behind him. He wanted him for pushing it, and then Asqueta got it on his own foot. He had a trailing defender on his hip, but you can't get in front of him. That's going to be a tough one, and he buries that one. An incredible goal there by Sean Asqueta. His second goal and 3rd point of this season.
Just 23 years old. He's from a beautiful town up there in the state of Wisconsin, Whitefish Bay, where we know they are listening in internet, radio, and television land. Brian Bement, Windex work, ends up on the top of the goal, disappears behind. You ever been up there to Whitefish Bay, Wisconsin?
You just asked me about Wisconsin. I told you, I'm not
Oh, yeah, you've never been across the state line of Wisconsin.
I have not, no.
Well, a lot of heart up there in Whitefish Bay, from what I understand. A lot of laughter, too.
They know how to play some soccer, apparently, too. Asqueta has been incredible this game. He's dropped a couple long passes and obviously an incredible screaming finish in a great way. I mean, he played that long ball from Bonaheni beautifully, and if any goalie deserves to have an assist in a game so far, it's been the game we're watching Bonaheni have today. He has been masterful.
Guernsey and SK. It was a 5-3 game, December 10th in Milwaukee. Ambush worked back within a couple of goals. Wave ended up reopening the game back up. That was the 3rd game of the year for the Ambush. Ended up as a 7-3 final. Ambush did outshoot the Wave in that first meeting, 23-20.
Ambush don't really start playing the game until they're down by 3, don't you know? Didn't you learn that last week? Come on now. They've got the Wave right where they want them.
That's right. Streak, we believe this is the first time in league history a home team has started 3 straight games with 3 straight OTs. Bement has it denied. SK, Barry trying to swipe it back in. Morrison picks up another foul here. Prevents Barry from getting across the gold stripe. 3 now for him. Mijatovic. After Pepe stepped over it. Stefan feeding Pepe. Ellis. Bement. Oh, Ellis was calling for it. Instead, Bennett scoots it out. Pepe trying to cut it off before he can get it to Steinwasser. Great work by Paulo to slide out. Javier again centering, and that's Hain. Toenail clippers it in.
Hain is a big man. When he comes charging in, all 6'3" and 200 pounds, it's hard for anybody to get in his way. Ricardo Pepe giving away about 4 inches and 30 pounds to a charging Andre Hain. That's going to be a hard man to stop. You got to stop the ball before they get that kind of deep positioning. That's why we talk about boots in the box so much, because you get that deep positioning. If you're a big guy like that, guys can't just stand there and take the hit from you without getting a call. So it's a tricky one there, and Hain does a beautiful job running onto an easily placed ball right in his path.
And it all started on the other end. Bement trying to get something, whether it's a turn or a pass back, and he kind of just passed it with Ellis calling for it. Just kind of passed it into space, and Bennett, you know he's going to take advantage of that, takes it to the other side. Once again, helps to key up a goal for this Milwaukee Wave team. Paulo really with no choice, able to scramble back with that second chance by Hain.
Look at the way he just manhandled Pepe when he tried to get in his way, and he just pushed him out of the way. I mean, there's not a lot we can do when you got a guy that big, Hain, and he's done it to a lot of people. You don't feel bad. That's fourth goal in his fifth game played, his 9th point, his second on the team, behind only the reigning MVP in Ian Bennett. Not shocking that he's able to have a game like this today. I mean, unless it's the Duke or Crystal, I don't know if anyone's stopping him from scoring that one, Joey.
Tough to slow him down for sure. 7:54 to go in the third. Media timeout here at the Family Arena in St. Charles. Ambush have to find a way to get a tourniquet on this and turn this game around. Suddenly down by a 4 spot. In an otherwise close home schedule. Something starting to open up. Here tonight, Milwaukee once again threatening to run away late. Let's see if the Ambush can correct course. Yahic, Christo, Niamsi up top. Make sure you're back with us here on January 20th. It'll be a 7:35 start against the Kansas City Comets. Follow the Ambush on Twitter at St. Louis Ambush. And check out stlambush.com for more information about how you can get your group, your family, and yourself out to the Family Arena this season.
Oh, yeah, man, every bounce just going against the Ambush. That almost set up perfectly for Robbie Christo to have Marcel Lette one-on-one without a Yahic charging in, and it just takes the littlest bounce over into the crowd.
Christo trying to elevate to stop the restart. Huffman and Asqueda causing so many problems up top. Asqueda. Good field vision. Skips that one to Wiedebach. Yahic on the pressure. Wiedebach in the middle. Huffman turning. Nice work by Paulo. Looked like a volleyball bump. Got it away. Wiedebach finding it difficult to get space. Briggs, Niamsi. Will ushers it out. Christo. Off the wall, Robbie pestered. Briggs just bounces it loose.
Joe, we didn't get a chance to talk about that possession just there. I mean, what a beautiful setup by the Wave. They spread out the Ambush defense, and they run these back cutters. They run these big looping things in the front, these big looping rounds in the front, and these back cutters behind. And you saw that Wiedebach was wide open on the short post, and they just missed the pass.
Hain. Bounce to Bradley back in the middle. Paulo initial save, but won't stop both. Once again, it's Hain. Just lightning through.
That's just bully. That's bully soccer right there for Andre Hain. If you got the size, you can use it. He passes this one off into the corner. Wallace scorer, if you will. He gets the first initial hit off Paulo, but if the ball falls to his feet like that, and again, look at this here. He's able to take a bunch of contact. Look at the contact. He's able to just keep his balance, despite the fact that Sam Guernsey's right there on him. He stays up. Guernsey goes down, and then all of a sudden the rebound is going the way for the Wave again. An incredible goal by Andre Hain. Sometimes you wonder in this closer game if classic target-sized guys, 6'3", 200 pounds, how they can be impactful. Andre Hain's doing a great example of it today.
Ian Bennett trying to get back on the stat sheet there. Grab by Paulo. Well, things looking a little bit bleak for the Ambush, but this is such a talented Wave team. Giuliano, Olivero, so pleased with what this team's done so far this year.
There's no reason this team can't take that next step up to, a San Diego, Kansas City level.
Will they challenge Florida?
There's no reason they can't. Yeah, Tropics, Soccer's Comets, you want to talk about that being the cream of the crop in the MASL? There's no reason that the Wave can't make that step up. When you look at the defenders they have, the dangerous defenders they have, Marcel Lette, Derek Huffman, Andre Hain, and you combine that obviously with an MVP, a multiple MVP, and a guy who's still playing at an MVP level, and Ian Bennett, also a goalie like Bonahene, who's playing at this level. There's no reason that the Wave cannot find themselves in the cream of the crop, the top echelon, tier 1 of this league by the end of this year. It wouldn't shock me in any way, shape, or form.
Milwaukee's seeking its first championship since 2019. Entering play tonight, 10 points, third in the division. Lete give outside, Bennett mishit. Joins a long list of players tonight who have skied him way up above.
I'd say so. The list is called the rosters.
As long as them. 16 and 12, the top 2 points numbers right now in the Eastern Division. Florida and Kansas City owning those. Both of them already playing 8 games prior to this weekend. Milwaukee's played just 4. For the Ambush, this is just 7. Harrisburg also entering this weekend with just 4 played. Intended target to Duca. Taken out of the air here, Hain. The player of the game so far has to work hard. To Duca. Trying to get back on defense. Still plenty of time. North of 20 minutes left in regulation, but just a lot of this. Milwaukee controlling possession, controlling the tempo.
And they're doing it again. They're spreading it out. They're essentially saying we have confidence in 2 things. The passing ability of our players and the speed to close the gap quicker than an ambush team, a player can. That's what they're saying right now with their scheme, and it's working.
Stymack bobsledding down the near side. Knocks it through the middle, but grabbed easily by another star in this game, Bonahene. Long launch. Gets into the second row. Mijatovic goes to fish it out. Stefan trying to give this team a chance here in the 4th. Paulo launching long to Duca. Bumping a bit with Lete. Carvalho. Wanting Cristo. Trying to keep it penned. Grabbed by Alex Steinwasser. Flooded loose. Yamsi all over Javier Steinwasser. Both Steinwassers from beautiful Sterling Heights, Michigan. And they do represent the only couple of players on this Wisconsin heavy roster who hail from the great state of Michigan. Alvarez tapping back. Huffman through the slot. Ends up with Alvarez, who's maybe a bit surprised by it.
Yeah.
Javier Steinwasser ran over.
It's a good dummy by Steinwasser, but I don't think Alvarez expected it. He's had a great game so far. Not many missed touches for him.
Kranz.
Kranz, excuse me.
Ends up taking a tumble. Trust me, that's not the first time they've
No,
been mixed up.
I keep getting it's the 19 and the 16. It keeps happening.
I've done it many times, my friend. 2 of the most similar-looking guys on this team.
If they both weren't so, just incredibly energetic, great defenders, they'd make it a little bit easier on us.
Any other candidates for most similar-looking guys on the team?
I don't want to play this game.
How about Joey Zanaboni and Matt Rocchio?
Did you see the pregame video?
Well, hey, add a couple inches of my hair. I might be in your league.
There you go. You have to eat a couple more quarter pounders to really enter my league.
Hey, thanks for paying for those chicken strips tonight, Matt.
Hey, no problem, buddy. I got you. I owed you a couple.
Bonahene.
Just the confidence.
Cristo. Maybe overconfident here was the goalie. Cristo down to Pepe. Through the middle, but just through real estate. Barry. Out to
Realistically
Guernsey.
speaking, I know we did this last week and it completely made us look like fools, but I'll do it again. Realistically speaking, if the Ambush want to have a chance here, they got to put at least 2 in this 2.5 minute thing, just to get the momentum and get something going here in the family arena.
Pepe Biment looking for one of those 2 with Barry Biment. Left foot bouncing around just wide of the goal.
If you have to be ready for the extra pass.
Cristo!
Sam Guernsey would have blasted in with the extra pass, and what a shot from Cristo. Bonahene, the 5th time this game, he's gone full reach, parallel to the ground, hard drop on a hard floor He looks like he's feeling it right now.
Just
as he
north
the net.
of 2 minutes. It gets us at least a positive on the offensive end. Some good looks. Pepe's shot ended up well high. Mijatovic, Briggs, Stymack, Bonahetti, Chili Willie came crashing through, but too late.
The first juicy rebound that Bonahetti's given up really since early in the first, and there's not a single ambush player within 20 yards to clean it up. That's how it's gone today for the ambush. That's how it's gone for the Wave. This game would still be at least, 4-3 in the Wave's favor if the luck was just a little bit flipped on its head, but still it'd be a much closer game. The bounce is just going completely different ways right now in Family Arena.
Laced forward to Huffman. Through the middle, chance, Paulo! Breaking it up like Leo DiCaprio's girlfriend turning 26.
I thought it was 25.
Well, 25, 26, what's the difference, right?
You ever seen the graph that's still floating around there on the internet? It's incredible work. Incredible work by people out there.
See, that's the difference between me and Leo DiCaprio. That's the only difference between me and Leo DiCaprio. I've got those Bumble settings all the way up to 67. Bennett firing this one well wide. Hayne gathering. What are your Bumble settings set up to
there,
man?
Casting a wide net. Joe, I'm a kept man. I'm lucky.
You are it. Your significant other, does she tune into these broadcasts?
I really hope not.
So do I.
No, if she downloaded Twitch, then she'd have to watch me play video games too, and I don't think she wants that.
20 seconds left here, third quarter. Chance, Windexed wide. It'll be pushed away by SK.
One of the few we've actually had come clean off the glass and not out of play.
It goes all the way to the other end in 5 seconds.
What a third quarter for the Milwaukee Wave.
Oh, Paulo drops a hammer. Hayne tries to spin it back. Almost puts.
He almost put a hat trick together in the third right there.
An incredible exclamation point on a pretty incredible quarter for the Milwaukee Wave and for himself personally. They run the score to 6-1. Hayne, the key guy, really just a brilliant performance in this third. Ambush will have to battle here tonight. We're back with the Backstoppers ball toss right after this on MASL TV. MASLsoccer.com is your home for everything Major Arena Soccer League. All the latest news, standings, and in-depth features. Bookmark the page now so you don't miss a note at MASLsoccer.com. Get the latest news on the MASL and your favorite teams by following MASL Soccer on Facebook and Instagram and MASL Arena on Twitter. And fans, MASL Monday is back with a familiar face. Join Alex Bostavansky and special guests each week to recap the weekend's games and keep up to date on all the latest news. It's the Backstoppers ball toss here at the Family Arena in St. Charles, raising money for a great organization, Backstoppers, that supports families of fallen first responders here in Greater St. Louis and across Missouri. Incredible organization and a lot of fun for these kids as they clean up from the ball toss, ambush, wave. Fourth quarter starting right now. Ambush trailing 6-1. Is there a reason for hope for this result tonight?
It's going to be tough, Joey. I guess the only thing we can say is it's a small field, a lot of shots, a lot of chances to score goals. We just saw the Wave open up with 4 in one period. So maybe you're thinking, well, maybe we can get 5.
Anything you can do, we can do better.
There you go. That's a good way to see it. Listen, I had no idea. I had no expectations
I'll threaten
for them to get
sing
2 and
that
45.
sometime.
Don't you dare.
How about that?
I had no.
Hey, if we come back from this 6-1 deficit,
Lord.
I will sing it. My singing has been the most consistent on MASL TV this season. Some would say consistently awful.
I was going to say
Matt
consistently.
Rocchio.
I was going to say consistently reviled, but consistent is one word for it.
Yes, consistently destroyed in the Twitch comments. Briggs.
Yeah, not too happy about it.
Creds on the pressure. Bennett scoops up the ball, looking to get by Mijatovic. And Bennett bumped down. They're going to get Mijatovic with a card. Trip, the reason for the blue. Kevin Ellis can't believe it. Bennett down on his knees around the gold stripe, though he's not hurt. Smiling here as he rises to his feet. Went down as he tried to get by Mijatovic, and Stefan is waiting to see the instant replay up on the big boards. What say you, Matt Rocchio?
Can I play the 5th on this one?
Can we call? You can.
I can?
If we can call, how about this? Instead of calling them blue cards, let's call them avatar cards.
I'm here to report, Joey. They just loved the movie talk on Twitch today.
They loved the
Oh
Way
yeah,
of Water?
they loved the movie talk. They couldn't get enough of it.
Well, hey, I mean, The Way of Water was one of the all-time great sequels, right?
I hate wearing 3D glasses.
I wish we could do these games in 3D somehow. First MASL team that comes up with a way to present these games in 3D. I'll do it for free.
Joey, you need a sawbuck and just a drive out to St. Charles Family Arena on January 20th, and you can see this game in 3D all you want.
Hey, there's always a way. Alvarez.
Sawbuck is $20, right? I didn't get that 1820s reference to money incorrect, did I, Joey?
I had no idea what you were talking about, to be honest with you. That happens about 25% of the time, and I just keep rolling with it.
Good thing the feeling's mutual.
You have a great nostalgic vocabulary.
Sawbuck's a $10 bill. I got it wrong.
So a $10 bill.
A double sawbuck, excuse me.
Gotcha.
Maybe a triple sawbuck, you get some change back.
Well, I'll wait a fortnight. They'll send it to me as a check, I'm sure.
Precisely.
Alvarez, Bennett. Where do you get these? Do you spend a lot of time in the 1800s?
That one was playing Red Dead Redemption.
That's set in the 1800s? There's a video game about the 1800s?
You've never heard of the video game? You've never heard of that video game? We live different lives, Joey.
I'm still stuck on Oregon Trail. That's another 19th century video game.
We leave these games and we live different lives.
We sure do. Don't ever quit this broadcast, though. I'll never do this with anybody else that I did not go to grade school with. So I got about 50 other people.
That's fair.
Still got 49 after you here,
That's
Matt.
fair.
A lot of people I can call, but it's a narrow list.
Good job so far here by the ambush. Not letting the ball in the box. That's always the crucial thing when we talk about the power play. The Wave not super active just yet. No dangerous crosses or runs through the box just yet. Andre Hain, is a dangerous man to post up. Christian Briggs got a difficult task right now.
Bennett. Oh, that's clean.
What?
Side shelf.
Oh, Ian Bennett. I mean, he eventually was going to make it happen again. He's doing a little jawing with the fans here in the front rows at the Family Arena. You got to love that too, and what an incredible goal there. I like how Christian Briggs, a little bit out of position, thought he was going to try to take away the left of the shot from Bennett, and he just tried to sit down in Bennett's line of, kind of his shot line, but he couldn't get his butt down quick enough. Haven't we all been there before? And so Ian Bennett, just an incredible goal, puts it wide just out of the reach from Paolo. It's hard to stop this Wave team 5-on-5 as we've seen for 6 of these goals, and the 7th one proves it's really hard to stop them when you're down a man. Don't.
What, did you fail a twerking class or something?
Who among us, right, Joey? Who among us?
Hey, I had a twerking class Groupon. I failed. Failed miserably.
To find the group to use it with?
No, I'm just saying I failed the class. I got graded at this twerking class. That one is stats up by Steinbeck. Ambush were within 2-1. 45 seconds into the 3rd. But that was short-lived. Just over 2 minutes into the 4th. Suddenly trailing by 6, and the pressure just keeps coming for the Wave.
Yeah, well, I think we're going to need to stop here for a handball coming off the elbow of Raymond for the Wave. So it's going to be Mijatovic setting up for the ambush. The possession going the other way. Already taking a little bit off the time dolphin here. Joey down at 12:23 at this point.
Water pouring off at time.
Water pouring off at this point.
It's a
waterfall.
waterfall.
We're going to need to average a goal every 2 minutes. So, Joey, we're about to hit the 12-minute mark. I'll be back with you at the 10-minute mark, and we'll see how that rate is going for the ambush.
People always ask, why do we call it the time dolphin?
I like how don't you lump me in with that.
Well, hey, you're the person that just used it. They say that dolphins have a better sense of time than humans.
How do we? I don't even want to know how they came to that conclusion.
I just made that up, so
I
I'm not
hate
sure
you
they
so
have.
much.
But hey, you believed it, right? Diopsy.
Please, people on the Twitch broadcast, comment and let me know that I wasn't the only one who bought that for a moment.
Ellis?
Well, I'm as gullible as I've always been.
Trying to get this dolphin back into the middle. Bradley gives him a bump.
Does Kevin Ellis, as a defender or as a offensive player,
it's
does he ever get involved in non-physical plays?
He really is.
He invites it. And I think it's an impressive mark in a sport like soccer to just have a beacon, a homing beacon somewhere inside of your body for physical contact, either as the offensive or defensive player.
He's listed officially as a forward, but plays so much on both ends.
Sometimes
Crayons.
the positions teams use for some of their players confuses me.
Oh, sure. Eventually you get guys, especially when you're watching someone like Ian Bennett who just goes all over the field. Here's the middle of it there, and sells a little contact with Mijatovic. Bennett just went to the ground immediately after kind of running into Mijatovic, but of course he is the reigning MVP. A lot of respect for him.
We had somebody respond with ranch dressing.
Hey, the ranch dressing people are back.
Oh, God bless the person in the Twitch chat who actually sent out ranch dressing. The fact that you remembered that is impressive.
If you weren't with us last time, we ended up getting 500,000 views, ambush comments New Year's Eve, and at one point we asked everyone to comment ranch dressing, and our ACE research team, our advanced stats team here, told us over 250,000 people commented ranch dressing.
It looks like in Wave player went down.
And this looks like it might be serious. Pepe went down along with a Wave attacker. And this is going to be a bit of a scary moment here. Always a little bit dicey around the walls.
I believe that was number 29, Salvador Nunez. He was the only other one in that play, and I do not see him up right now. So, yes, it looks like it is Salvatore Nunez who is down right now. Nunez.
He's going to get up here. Athletic training staff for this Milwaukee Wave team is in great hands with Ricardo Vidal. Travels with the squad.
Scary moment there for Nunez, though, who's just playing in his second game this year for the Wave. And obviously when you're playing in the indoor game, the boards are Easily one of the more dangerous aspects, potentially, especially when you take a hard hit like that. Good job by the athletic training staff to get out there. Obviously, we've learned as sports fans this week how important those people really are.
They try to inflict more pain. Luckily, Paulo, on his no-look flick, able to gobble that up. Cristo trying to get it moving. Ambush trying to find a positive offensively. A goal by Guernsey, assisted by Briggs, the only one on the board right now. Berry! Let's change that! Marcel Berry, Mostaza. 10:15 to go, fourth quarter. And you know he can really find his way through. Good, clever finish.
Well, Joey, I said we check back in around the 10-minute mark. Blew the Ambush draw within one. They got 5 to go, and they got 10 minutes to do it. Another goal every 2 minutes. Marcel Berry, what a run. He has had so many of these, but he really hasn't been able to finish them this season with a finish like that. It kicks off, I think it was Bradley's shoe to kind of give him the angle that I think Bonahene was not ready for. But all in all, what a run, what a shot there by Berry to get it off. Kind of looked like with the toe of his boot, considering how close the defender was playing him. All in all, an incredible run, an incredible goal there. And hey, finally a bounce goes the Ambush's way.
Now it's Niamsi. Cross-turf pass. A couple of balls that have been redirected, ending up in the back of the net for the Ambush. The Guernsey goal. The ball that got deflected out to him, set up by Briggs. And then the true deflection into the top shelf for Marcel Berry. Niamsi, pitch and catch. Mijatovic in on the action. Kranz positioned up top in the box. Niamsi joins him. Mijatovic. Kranz to Briggs. Now Niamsi trying to get fancy. Kranz still battling. Greg. Still 9 and change to go here tonight. Down 5, but things looking better. Mijatovic. Window work. SK gets the hair to it. Briggs. Looking to staple it into the middle. Bennett on the help. Sandwiches it out all the way to Paulo. Off the lunch buffet. Mijatovic. Pepe.
Look at B-Men fighting for position against Leite right there on the elbow.
Pepe. A couple of those for him tonight. Disguise it again. 8:33. At least the Ambush taking the fight now to the Wave. And you just never know in this crazy game. You get it down within a few goals, that extra attacker comes into play.
They controlled almost the entire 90 seconds following their goal. Would have been a great chance to add a second one here.
Berry. Stops up Steinwasser. Wheeled through the middle. Quick shot. That one luckily just wide. Second chance. Marcel Berry.
What a shot by Sanchez. An absolute screamer. Comes right off the bench for some of his first minutes of the game. What an impressive job there.
Alex Sanchez from Chicago, Illinois. Oh, another one. Leite to Javier Steinwasser through the middle. And the Wave, they've responded well to the 2 Ambush goals tonight. A couple of quick strikes after them. 8-2 now. Milwaukee with the advantage, 8:07 left.
They make the math a little tricky now. What a great job. A pass off the wall, set it up, and then you get a charging goaltender. You get a defender out of position right there, just outside the box. You make the extra pass to a wide open teammate right there in Javier Steinwasser, and obviously Marcel Leite with a perfectly weighted pass. That is a definitional extra pass. No reason to mess with some kind of weird angle on the outside to the short post. Just put it over the middle, the most dangerous part. That's day one, kindergarten soccer. That's the dangerous part of the field, Joey, and that's where they put it.
Well, we can say that because we played kindergarten soccer together.
We did, yeah. I remember them telling us that. But I think I sent a pass in front of the goal one day as a defender, and the coach was not happy with me, Joey. Coach was not happy with me.
We're reminiscing on the glory days here as we go to the media timeout. 7:59.
The first quarter. What was that?
The first quarter of life, right?
Yeah, there you go.
Fourth quarter here. It's the Wave 8, Ambush 2. Thanks for being with us here on MASL TV. Make sure you do tune in January 15th from Fair Utica, 1 o'clock Central Time start. More information at stlambush.com. Make sure you do join us once again. January 20th, 7:30 against the Kansas City Comets. They're back once again. Our third meeting at home against that Comets team so far this season. The Wave quality here tonight. They are getting some final words of encouragement from their staff. We had a chance to talk with Tenzin Rampa before the game, assistant coach for Giuliano Olivero, and I think the word that pops to mind right now for both of them is confident. Coaching staff feels very good about this team that Milwaukee is putting together this year. When you think about it, they are really the last pre-pandemic champion of the MASL. Some of these years have taken a toll on rosters, and they feel like they've got one back to full strength.
I got to think, we didn't get a chance, but I got to think that Tenzin Rampa has to be one of the most potentially interesting interviews in the MASL this year. He plays for the Tibetan national team.
Ooh, interesting.
I cannot imagine what that must be like. Just to have that kind of connection to that country in today's day and age, that has to be an incredible story behind that.
Oh, absolutely fascinating. Cristo trying to poke that one through after a nice save on a shot by Briggs. Bonaheny fires it loose. Over the top, Stymack had it drift away. Apollo rolling out to Mijatovic. Pepe wanting Stymack. Heading, wanted Cristo.
Yeah, I love that look from Stymack. You don't see enough passing with headers. It's two directional. I think it's one of the lost arts across all levels of soccer, in my opinion. Great job by Stymack. Not a great job defending there by Stefan Mijatovic. A little bit much. And he's taunting him. Oh, he's saying too little. He's giving him the too little mark you see in basketball. Guy puts his hand down by his knee. He's giving him the too little mark after stonewalling him. Maybe not the smartest move in this game to be goading on the guy you just got called for a foul against. I guess they didn't call for a foul against him. They called it against Azqueta. For running into him. So I guess it's a fair trash talk. I can't believe that actually went against Stefan Mijatovic.
Went back to the bench with a lot of passion. Milwaukee banging that one high. Alex Steinwasser trying to jam it home.
We got to ask him if he's an NBA fan after that. That was a classic NBA.
I'm glad you picked that up. I thought he was just pointing up toward us.
No, he was.
I was waving back at him.
If you saw it there, if you look at the replay, he put his hand down just to about his kneecap as he was kind of chirping at Azqueta, who's Azqueta, not a big guy. Stefan Mijatovic, pretty big dude himself. Thanks again, Mr. Mijatovic, again for the brandy.
That Dunya
you
brandy.
definitely. I hope you taught your son talk a little trash on the field when it's warranted. I like that.
Marcel Berry, back to Pepe. Marcel, you ever talk any trash out there on the soccer field? Back in kindergarten?
Not on the soccer field, no.
You ever talk any trash anywhere?
Yes.
Where at?
You ever played Settlers of Catan, Joey?
Keeping the chat room busy, huh? The opposite.
Tell you what, I get nasty around the risk board.
He's able to stifle Wiedebach.
I play a nasty game of Stratego, Joey. A nasty game of Stratego.
Well, thanks for being the guy that occasionally will talk trash around a board game. World needs more of those people.
I agree.
Briggs down low. Wanted Cristo perhaps.
Joey, I got a little trivia question for you as we.
I'm all ears.
8-2 game here with 541. What country over in Europe do you think a lot of these board games originate from? It's an insane amount, the percentage of board games that get made in this country.
Liechtenstein.
It's a bigger country than Liechtenstein, but I'd like to guess.
Belgium.
Germany.
Okay.
All of these games, Settlers of Catan, came out of Germany.
Really?
They all come out of Germany. It's insane to me.
Well,
now you know a little bit more about board games.
Shout out to all of our listeners out there in Germany tonight on MASL TV. Paulo. What's Cristo?
Look at the skill by Cristo holding off Bradley in that way. I mean, Joey, you can do a little bit of dribbling, but my question to you is, can you do a little dribbling where you're being hung on by a 6 foot, 180-pound man?
No.
I didn't think so.
Though I've experienced that many times. Bonaheny.
That's what Robbie Crystal was able to just do. Bradley, 180 pounds just hanging on the man. And
I've never had that
volleying it up
experience.
like that.
Ellis goes down. I think Robbie, he would win the battle of juggling with the feet. I will challenge him. Anytime he wants to juggle 3 tennis balls with his hands against me, though, I'll go for it.
You being able to juggle is the least surprising piece of trivia I've learned today.
I can juggle up to 4 tennis balls.
That's the least
up to
surprising
1
thing in the
knife.
world.
Steinbach.
In fact, I think now every listener, when Joey says one of his crazy goal calls, you should just imagine Joey doing one of those goal calls while he's juggling, because I guarantee you it doesn't make the image weirder. It just kind of makes sense when you think about it.
Make more
it's like
sense.
A Benny. It's kind of like if you put all your calls to a Benny Hill theme, it would work.
This is one of those 25% where I'm not sure what you're talking about, but I'm just going to agree.
You know what the Benny Hill theme is, the saxophone?
I only know Chuck Mangione.
Let's go back to
a trumpet player,
Go back to the booth, and if you can find me a little Benny Hill theme, that'd be great.
Steinwasher. John says they're working on it.
They're working on it in the booth. I believe them. I trust them. Is that a DJ Prue thing I should be asking for?
Alex Steinwasher.
Not the mood necessarily, but here we go.
Banged a little bit wide. 3:55 to go in the fourth. 8-2. Wave still lead it.
John from the booth informing us that the Benny Hill theme is correctly called Yakety Sax. He's not wrong. That is the correct terminology. I was trying to find the reference that people might actually get. In fact, I probably went the other way there.
Well, hey. 8-2 game. Alvarez.
Oh, what
denied.
a great
Well
slide
done
by Pepe. Jake, show me a Coke.
Well, I can't talk. You have to take it.
Oh,
That's what you're actually calling.
My apologies.
How about this for the world of
rules.
saxophoning? How about Kenny G?
Oh, who doesn't love a little Kenny G?
Crayons.
The man's a magician.
The best-selling instrumental recording artist ever. A little bumpy there on the far side, right in front of the mattress direct sign. But here's a good and interesting trivia question for you. Where does the bulk of Kenny G's $200 million net worth come from? This is my one saxophoning fact.
Where does the bulk of it come from?
Where does the bulk of it come from? 200 mil.
He's the studio saxophonist in the E Street Band. I don't know.
That's really close.
Really?
He was one of the original investors in Starbucks.
It's not close at all, but I appreciate you humoring me on that one. It's nowhere close.
Hey, Bruce Springsteen enjoys Starbucks, doesn't he? Then it goes down. He bought Starbucks stock the day it came out. Actually had a chance to stand within about 25 feet of Kenny G over the summer. Didn't actually meet him, didn't shake his hand. He has no idea who I am. But the bulk of that $200 million fortune, and the reason he sleeps peacefully at night, is because of Starbucks stock.
I actually heard Kenny G, a big MASL fan. He was one of the 17,000 who was watching live last week.
That's a heck of a pickup. Bonaheny.
500,000 people. One of them's got to be Kenny G.
That's right. That's science. That's music.
I've taken a census. I know how these things work.
Briggs to Bement. Looking to twist one cross. Mijatovic. 2.5 left regulation. Bement.
Bement and Steinbeck have not got on the board for the ambush, but I really think this was another impressive game for two guys still ingratiating themselves and finding their way in the indoor game. Bement, took him a few weeks to kind of learn the game, transitioning from outdoor to indoor. Steinbeck, having indoor experience, kind of jumped in a little bit more. But I think you just see every shift that Bement plays, especially the comfortability factor, the transitioning of his outdoor game into the indoor game. I think you see it more and more and more. Almost every shift with him, he could be really special by the end of the season.
Steinwasser trying to turn. Pepe kept him at bay for a moment. Milwaukee thankful just to squeegee a little more water off that time dolphin now. Results assured here. The ambush go out on a positive note. Bennett looking for a way around Stymack. Billy stays with him.
Joey, I was wondering, I didn't bring up the name, but somebody in the chat says that Stefan Mijatovic's favorite basketball player in the NBA is Nikola Jokic, who's the reigning MVP, a Serbian, and also happens to be my favorite player in the NBA. And he, being a 7-footer who beats up a lot on young guys, uses the too small celebration to trash talk all the time. And I might have to powwow with our good friend Stefan Mijatovic about our mutual favorite basketball player.
I'll supply the Dunya brandy.
And it doesn't surprise me, honestly, if he is. If you ever watch Nikola Jokic, he's a 7-footer who passes the ball an unbelievable amount. You watch Mijatovic on here, and it's a similar thing. He's a bigger guy on the outskirts of the play, throwing passes all around the court. It's not surprising to me that he's his favorite player. Mijatovic, a similar style, big man, throwing passes, little attitude as well when he gets involved down low. I can see the similarities between their games.
Punched out, Bradley.
And Joey, how about this? We talked last year about, or our transition to this year, about getting to watch a goalie like Paolo after not getting to see him last year. We saw the Wave a lot last year, and one of the players we didn't get to see because of injuries was Bonahenne. And we heard, again, much like with Paolo, we heard a lot of stories about how special this guy is, about how much of a game changer he is for the franchise. And to see him now in person, not just on the video feed like we did to open the season, to see Bonahenne now in person, it's that much and more from everything we heard about him last season. He is an incredible goaltender, and he's a presence. He is a presence on this field. We talk about Paolo being a presence in the coaching huddles. This guy's a presence on the field. You could have felt it last year if you had seen what he was able to do. You felt it on the Wave and how much different they are this year.
Niamsi Ellis. Last gasp here for the ambush. Ellis duct taped to the wall by a couple of defenders. And there is a player down on the other side. Wave attacker rolling around in pain here is Alex Sanchez. They get the athletic training staff out again. 38 seconds left here in this one. 8-2 our score. Wave have had a couple of players go down and get checked out tonight. Mijatovic checking him out as well. We are thankful for all these great athletic training staff who keep these players safe, especially in a week like this. With
saying that earlier when we had the
sudden scary moment with DeMar Hamlin. Great news, he is back, and seems like he is breathing on his own, communicating, so it looks like there's a happy ending to the story. But boy, just a few nights ago, Monday night, were you watching that live, and what was your reaction?
I actually, in a way, fortunately and unfortunately, I had not yet turned on the game because it happened so early in the game. 5:15, I think, was the exact timestamp left in the first quarter of that game. I couldn't believe, and I wasn't watching, so it was just kind of crazy. And I really thought it was impressive. The Bills head coach Sean McDermott actually came out and pointed out how amazing the training staff
truly is,
really was, and how they jumped out and they saved a guy's life. And so I thought that was extremely impressive by him to kind of highlight the importance there. And obviously we're talking about the importance of the athletic trainers here, what them and everyone, the other game day officials with each team, the work they do in and out, and the fact that you only see it in the worst times. It's one of those things where we need to tell them how important they are to us when they're doing their job every day, not just when they're on national television in the worst times possible.
Mijatovic's shot ends up way high. It's the final moments here. Sanchez helped off the field. Looks like he might have sustained some sort of leg injury. Thank you to all of our great athletic trainers with us tonight. Brent Holgrew, Mackenzie Crawford, as well as on the Wave side, Ricardo Vidal. And thank you again to Brent Holtgrew and Mackenzie Crawford, and of course Ricardo Vidal on the visiting side for all they do. Final 25 seconds now. Wave pushing it back. Bradley orchestrates. Ellis on the intercepts. Ambush offense held at bay this evening, unable to score in the first half. Will end up falling 8-2. Mosqueda was key this evening. Looks like he will take the last bit of time off the clock here. Berry's challenge takes us to the buzzer. 8-2 your final. Ambush fall in regulation for the first time at the Family Arena this season. Head to Utica January 15th, back home 7:30 January 20th. Your biggest takeaway from what ends up being a tough result?
Yeah, it's hard to take ones away when you have such a bad one period really marring the entire game from the Ambush perspective. I think the bottom line from them is that while at times it looked more cohesive, there still is just that extra 10% missing from this Ambush team. They're playing at 90%, but that extra 10%, that ability at any moment to take advantage of the other team's mistakes, come out and crash down on a hard offensive possession and get a quick goal. The inability to take advantage of power plays consistently throughout this entire season. Listen, we talk about luck, but again, things start breaking your way when you play better. The little bits of luck happen because you take the extra run, you take the extra step, you're snapping into the game a little bit more, you're on your keys a little bit more. That's when the luck happens, and that's what's not happening right now for the Ambush. They're playing at 9%. They need to find that extra 10.
2,741 paid to see it here tonight at the Family Arena in St. Charles. Finished for the game, but not for the evening. Players down in the center circle for a post-game autograph session. Make sure you are with us for another autograph session February 11th here at the Family Arena. Ambush always celebrating with the fans regardless of the result. Ambush and Wave done tonight. We're about to kick it down field side. Lux is giving us our Chris Tiger American Insurance Agency player of the game. And we've got Angela as well. And Marcel Berry going to be our Chris Tiger Agency American Family Insurance player of the game. Angela is down on the turf with William Bonahene and then Marcel Berry.
All right, I'm down here with our players of the game. I've got William Bonahene with me, and you're obviously in a good mood. You guys won. You were down here dancing with me just a minute ago. But I'm going to ask you this because I did notice when the second goal was scored on you, you guys still had like a 6-goal lead, but you did lay down there a little bit in defeat. Now, I know you want to stop every goal, but why did that goal in particular get you?
Because Marcel was my former teammate, and he scored a whack goal. It was a deflection. That's why I was mad.
I did notice you guys were just now talking about that goal just now. So there's a little bit of fun when you have a former teammate on the other team now.
Yeah, I mean, we had a good year, and we did a year in Muskegon, and we had fun. You know, these guys like Will and Marcel, they're still brothers to me, and you know, it's always fun to compete against your former teammates.
Oh, the former teammates. And of course, I guess you like it a little bit better when you win by such a margin. What is it about the Wave that is kind of continuing to keep on that winning tradition?
Well, I wasn't here last year, but you know, it was kind of
Harrisburg.
I was in Harrisburg, yeah. So we had. I think it was kind of bring back that culture that we had, and you know, that defeat or no defeat and don't quit. And you know, they scored one, and we came back right away and scored another one. So it's, you know, the biggest thing that we looked in today was to play a complete game, which we did, 4 quarters for the first time.
And you did a great job in goal. So thank you so much, and good luck to you next time.
Best of luck. Hey, you guys, fans were great, awesome, good job, guys.
We like to hear it. Even the opposing team said you guys are great fans. Love to hear that as well. And now for our Ambush player of the game. Sam is going to make his way over here. They're always mad at me when the Ambush lose. You never want to talk to me, but we got to talk because you scored your first goal of the season, and then there was an awesome backflip involved.
Yeah, I've really been thinking about what I wanted to do. I really didn't plan on doing it, but sometimes it's just natural.
Do you practice the backflip just so you make sure you land it when you're celebrating a goal?
Not really, just adrenaline takes me in the rotation.
Now, we do have to talk a little bit of serious stuff here. Quite the loss. What are you guys going to be working on for the next game?
As you can see in the scoreline, we let a lot of goals in. Obviously, we have to work on some defense, and on our end, we got to score some goals.
Score some goals and defense. You make it sound so simple, but you guys are going to come back And I know that you heard this crowd constantly in it, trying to cheer you guys on, kind of keeping you in there. You guys have an autograph session tonight. Is it still going to be nice to hang out and talk to these fans even after such a tough loss?
Absolutely. It's always good to have the fans here. They really bring a lot of energy. I mean, they come to every game, whether we're winning, we're losing. They're always here. They're always clapping. We score a goal. It raises the roof, and I really think that's awesome from them. So thank you guys so much for doing that. Thank you so much.
Well, he thanks you guys, and we thank you, Sam. Thank you so much. Hope to see everybody down here on the field soon for our autograph sesh.
Both players very appreciative of the 2,700 plus crowd out here tonight. William Bonahenne for the Milwaukee Wave, and Angela ended up with Sam Guernsey, who had quite a backflip. Tough game for the Ambush offensively, but that backflip really almost made it all worth it.
Honestly, what I took away from those post-game interviews, Joey, had to be the little back and forth between Bonahenne and Marcel Berry, former teammates. Marcel Berry getting the plaque today after the game, and they had to give each other a little trash talking because, as you heard Bonahenne say in the post-game interview, a little whack goal by Marcel Berry, but I thought it was a lot of fun there. Great job there getting the story there from Angela Sharp.
The former teammates having some fun on the turf after the game. We are headed to the post-game autograph session. $25 for Rocchios, $10 off for the first 15 who come to his table. We'll talk to you again on January 20th at 7:30. Until then, this has been St. Louis Ambush Soccer on MASL TV.